Welcome into Gamesthetic, episode 184. Man, my camera really was off. We had a power outage, and I forgot to check cams for the show. I'm Alex Light with Sparky T. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching or listening to the show. No Zach, I don't think at all today. He said probably won't be able to make it. So I'm just going to assume that means will not make it, but you never know. He could randomly pop in. We do have John. John, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing okay.
Kind of a low energy day, yeah?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's my vibe too. That's my vibe too. Is I did not really go anywhere today. I was a lazy bum today. Today was one of those days, man. I think the show might reflect that. I'm gonna be honest. I think the show might reflect that it's one of those days. It's a low energy day, but next Saturday will be a high energy day because we can finally talk about Black Myth Wukong from our own personal experience. We are going to talk about the Black Myth Wukong reviews that kind of dropped and kind of some of the controversy around some of the reviews. I think it's been interesting to follow. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, that's fine. I'll detail it, but it's been an interesting process. Got some Xbox-related news about the next possible port over to PlayStation. Our favorite topic of Switch 2. Going to touch on that very quickly and move on. Hi-Fi Rush is not dead. So shout out to that as well. And whatever else we want to talk about. I'm not sure. We'll shout out our two sponsors in the show as well. Rogue Energy and Agent Inc. We'll go into two cams here. Let's go ahead and turn down the music because it might have been too loud through my whole intro. And if that's the case, I apologize. But it's all right. We're here. We're vibing. But no, John, I think we can both agree it's a low energy day today.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm
tired.
It's been a big chill day.
Yeah, it's been a very big chill day. Played some college football, played some Fire Emblem Awakening, just laid in bed. Watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2 while playing Fire Emblem, so that was great. Enjoyed that. It's been a chill day. This has been a very chill day. In my college football dynasty, Jacob beat me yesterday. Very unfortunate. But I only lost by a score, unlike whenever he beat Tyler like 70-7. So I got that going for me. But I did lose because of my own mistakes. So that's also the unfortunate part. Played Tyler today in the dynasty. Beat him like 35-7 or 35-14. Threw a lot of picks though. Some of them very dumb picks. I mean, like you know it's bad when you're throwing an interception to a defensive tackle. At that point, it's time to retire. Like it wasn't looking too good for me today in that regard.
Just making it interesting.
It was, man. It was just it's one of those things. It's like I hit the right read. I know where I'm going, but like it's a rainy game. My guy Gunnar Gray is not very good in the accuracy department, and he didn't arc it. It's not like this D tackle was in like drop back coverage. He's just standing there. He's like, "Oh, thanks for the interception, bud."
Yeah. See, while you've been playing the new sports game, I've been playing MLB The Show 20.
Oh, you've been playing 20?
Yeah.
Why 20 versus the new one that just dropped?
I was just on my PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I was just on my PlayStation. Didn't feel like swapping over. I've got a bunch of like saves from that game, so I was just having fun playing it.
Right. Speaking of old sports games, I forgot to add to the script, so let me shout it out now before I forget. Shout out to the fact that you pitched. Oh man, it'd be cool. Backyard Sports comes back, and now Backyard Sports might actually come back. For anyone that did not see, I don't know if they made a new Instagram account or if it was like an old inactive one. It had a low follower account, which still could mean it could be an old one because maybe just not a lot of people followed Backyard Sports. I don't know. But they randomly, like, an account either popped up or it started being active again, and it posted a couple pictures. It's just like, is Backyard Sports about to come back?
It'd be great.
Like, is that really about to happen? Like, you just spoke that into existence like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
Backyard Sports coming back.
I saw that right before you like sent the message out, and I was like, yeah, about time. Let's get a win in here.
Get a win in here. Speaking of getting wins in here, I sent you the link. Did you get the pre-order in for the Astrobot controller?
No.
Oh.
I saw it.
I did not either.
I saw it. I really wanted to. Wasn't sure if it was gonna be like financially smart for me to do it at the time.
I agree. That's why I did not do it either. I passed on it.
Turns out probably should have done it.
Yeah.
like I should have done it. I could have done it. It was just one where at the time I wasn't sure if it would have been. I didn't want to put myself. You know how it is. You don't want to make life any harder on yourself.
I 100% agree. That's why I did not pre-order. Is it still available?
I haven't checked.
Let me look, because the link I sent you was PlayStation Direct. So let's go see if it's still available. I saw they also had the Concord controller also available.
That one's been available the whole time. I think that one hadn't sold out yet.
It looks like it's sold out.
Yeah,
it looks like it. Yep, currently unavailable. It is in fact sold out.
Yeah,
but hey, you can get the Concord. It is available.
I'm thinking about it. It's not my favorite controller design, but it's still cool. Like I still really like getting these like game release editions.
Yeah.
Even if it's for a game I'm not gonna play, not too big on or anything like that. It's still cool that they like make a controller based around it, and I like that.
Yeah. One controller that I've never been interested in from the original reveal, but like I saw it on the PlayStation Direct, and I'm just like, man, that actually looks really clean. Like it's a basic controller, but I actually really like the silver controller. Yeah. I think it looks so clean.
Yeah.
But I think I also like it so much because like I know it's silver, but it just kind of reminds me of that PlayStation 1, special controller Jim Ryan got, It just kind of, so like if this thing had like the colored buttons, this would be an all-timer.
Yeah.
All-timer. But even still, like I like that silver color. It's
still
nice.
It's still better than most of the basic edition colors.
Yeah, that's out there. So I don't know. Maybe that silver one could be on, my horizon way down the line. But, the one reason that I keep pulling back to not want to buy like the Astro Bot, even though I really liked it, or the Concorde, is because like, at the end of the day, I know I'm just going to keep using Spider-Man. And that's why I'm just like, do I want to jump into the collector aspect like John does, or what?
Well, it's not even the collector aspect. Do you have one of those like charging stands?
Yes, I have a charging station for two controllers. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have one of those, just find yourself like I rotate 3 controllers on it. I just have 2 controllers that I really like, which is the God of War and the Spider-Man controller. And then I just have the basic white PS5 controller. And I just alternate playing with those. With how I will run the battery down on those things.
Yeah, with how bad the battery is on the DualSense, I probably should go ahead and just finally nut up and just like,
that's the thing,
buy
it's
another
like,
one.
I still have the like Final Fantasy controller that it's still in the box, so I'm not using it. But yeah, it's like I
forgot you got that one.
That's the main thing is like
having the option.
There's buying them and not wanting to use them and just keeping them in pristine condition on the wall. No, I bought them because I like the controllers, I like having them, and I want to use them. It's like, so I try to rotate all of my controllers around as I'm playing them. It's because I'm like, yeah, they look cool on the wall, but they're also cool, so why not just use them?
Right, yeah. I don't know, this conversation's making me regret not buying the Astro Bot one now.
I mean,
hopefully it comes back up somewhere.
I mean, if not, I don't think that one's gonna go up too much. It's gonna double in price. It probably already has doubled in price.
Right.
It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna go up much more than that.
Yeah.
It's a cool controller, but it's not like a super crazy one.
Yeah. Besides, there's gonna be another awesome one to be revealed at some point. So
yeah, we're gonna get another cool one later, probably later this year.
You know a sick one that they can probably do. They make a DualSense to pair with whenever it's going to come out, Ghost of Tsushima 2. That would be sick, especially when like we've praised that Ghost of Tsushima is one of the few games that's actually used the controller speakers right. That would be sick to have a custom controller for Ghost 2 whenever it happens.
Yeah,
that's going to be a pickup.
Yeah, that's part of it. Part of it is the Astro Bot controller is really cool. I really like the design of it. The only problem of kind of what, like when you sent me that link, it's kind of the fact that like when you're actually holding the controller and you're using it, your hands are kind of covering up half of what makes it cool.
Yeah.
So even when you look down at it, you get part of the appeal, where most of the other ones, it's all on like that front face of it.
Right. Still wish that we got the Hogwarts one because we didn't get that our way. Or is that Final Fantasy or Hogwarts we didn't get?
We didn't get the Final Fantasy. The
Okay.
Hogwarts sold out instantly.
Okay, and you got the Final Fantasy imported.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah. No, the Hogwarts Legacy just sold out immediately.
Yeah.
And it's been very expensive ever since.
Would like to have that one at some point. That's one of the coolest looking controllers. So I don't know, maybe one day. But like I said, I think we'll get probably a Ghost 2 controller or something. I don't know. Whenever another Horizon game finally comes out, we'll probably get something there too. Oh, there'll be more cool controllers. We didn't completely miss out. No, come on. All right, you want to talk about some Blacksmith?
Pretty much always.
Yeah, pretty much. 3 weeks in a row talking Blacksmith. Last week final trailer hop. This week we're talking about reviews. Next week talking about the game.
At least we could justify it because it's about to come out.
Yeah, it's release
This isn't
time.
like 2 years ago when we were talking about it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, exactly. It's different era. It's fine. So the reviews have been very interesting so far. It's been positive.
I haven't paid too much attention to it, but I did Google it right before we started.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, the variation in scores.
It is. And some of the review, look, if you review it and it's just not the game for you and your review sounds pretty justifiable, right? That why you don't like it, that's cool. I'm not fucked up about you giving it a mid review score if it's just clearly not the game for you and your review reflects it as such. But when you have reviews that's reviewing it as a completely different type of game, now don't get me wrong, we thought it was that type of game too, but the hands-on previews, the devs over the last 4 months have made it very clear it's not a Souls-like.
The thing is, we were under that impression from
the jump.
I think a total of an hour and a half's worth of videos that we had over a couple years. From the past 4 or 5 months, nobody should have thought this was a Souls-like.
Yeah. So one of the reviews on Metacritic that so there was one, I haven't looked at it since, but there was 2 mixed reviews. They were both 70s. One was simply just they just didn't really care for the game. It's not for them.
I was looking at that one right before, and I'm like, I mean,
that's
it's not
fair.
your game. That's reasonable.
Yeah, but the other one was just this is not the Souls-like that I thought it was. Going into well, you just haven't paid attention, and you just got the game and just reviewed it to review it, I guess.
From what I've seen, most there's a couple outlier 70s.
Yeah.
It seems like the majority of them range somewhere between 80 and 90.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, cool.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, it's I predicted higher, but that's because my hype level wants it to be wanted it to be reviewed higher.
Yeah.
But I mean, is what it is. Game comes out in a couple days. We're gonna play the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean pre-order Digital Deluxe. I'm ready to go. I can't wait. This is one of those times where it's even though the reviews came out, it's my hype hasn't been deterred at all from having a lower review score than I thought. The one time where it's I can think of where it's the review score was so much lower than I thought it would be, and it kind of bummed me out going to the game, but I still had a great time. It was probably Sonic Frontiers. I thought it would at least hit the 80s, and I think it landed a 75. And I'm like, damn, it's God bless. But I still had a great time with it. But, this is hey, you came in at 83. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've seen a lot of great games come in at that score. What's wrong with that? You also have to keep in mind, this is still their first console game they've ever made. So it's it's the same thing with Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was that dev's first console game, and it came in an 81, 82. So it's hey, I'm here for that.
Yeah. Just want to point out we're not trying to justify it should have had a higher score or anything.
Yeah, true.
If we're saying we would expect it to be higher, we haven't actually played the game. We haven't seen the game. We just us saying that initially and kind of the way we're talking about, we just want the game to have scored higher.
Right.
Because that's how much we're excited for this game.
Yeah,
we've been talking about the game for 4 years, pretty much.
I know there was one review that got a lot of people talking because when the review came out, it was initially, I think, like a 3.5 out of 5, and they dropped it down to a 3 after the fact. But like the one thing that people kept taking away from it, because there was even a highlighted portion in the review that kind of dials it in on this, is the review was talking about the lack of inclusivity and diversity in the game. And it's just like, let me make this clear right off the top. Very important in life. I think it's an important thing for gaming, but it's like, I mean, this isn't an original story. You know what I mean? Like at the core of this game is a folktale, Journey to the West, right? That is the core DNA of it. It's not, if this was like a completely original game, okay, yeah, fair, you know, but like the property that this is based on, we know what it is. And it's like it's not like there's not anything in there, because in the review, like I saw they were reading, it's like, you know, this game just feels like it's not welcoming to women. It's just like there's like no female. I was like, there's literally a female boss, because they even dropped there's no female bosses, and like there's literally that spider boss. Like it's in the trailers, it's in the videos. So I saw a lot of people talking about that one, where it's just like, you know, did you actually play the game? Because like even in their paragraph review that I saw that was being shared, it's like it only referenced chapters 1 and 2. So it's like, okay, did you not play beyond that? And wrote the review. So I don't know. I thought that was that's gotten a lot of people talking, where it's just like, that's important. That's an important conversation. It is 100%, but it's like it's Journey to the West. Like, you know, like you're a ninja monkey, you know?
Yeah.
that's where everyone was confused. Like, you're a ninja monkey.
I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but it is one of those where it's like, that is an important thing that needs to be present throughout gaming and everything, and throughout the stories. It's also a time and place for it. It's like if you're basing something off of a story, if going out of your way and kind of hampering, I guess hampering's a bad word to say for it, but if you're going out of your way to change aspects of like gameplay and storytelling to include that to where it doesn't feel natural, you shouldn't do it. And it's like it's a thing of some stories and some games, you don't need to worry about making sure everybody feels welcoming to it. I mean, it's one of those where, I mean, kind of different aspect to it, but like some games, the story in that might be a little more inclusive in that, but gameplay and game-wise, it's not. It's kind of just like, okay, because I'm thinking of like Souls games, Elden Ring, things like that, where it's like,
right,
gameplay-wise, they don't give a shit who you are. They're going to kick your ass.
Right.
But it's one of those where that's because they made the game they want to make. It's like this company, like they've made the game they want to make.
Yeah.
They took a story that they wanted to go with, and they've built an action game around it. Like I said, there's a time and place to worry about being inclusive.
Right. I will also add, you know, kind of final note on that too. Like, even though it's like, I don't like, you know, that opinion's just like, all right, it's your opinion, whatever. I should also add, just for the general sake of like a gaming community thing, I understand if you read that, maybe you get pissed off about it, maybe you don't like what it said or whatever, and like it's trashing a game that you're really excited for, you think it's stupid. Don't think there's any reason to ever like go after someone and basically threaten their life, because it was to the point. I think this was Screen Rant that the review is for, where they had to repost the article but remove the author's name, which, you know, the people that read it originally, they screen capped it, so they're like, oh, you can remove it, Screen Rant, but we still got their name. It's like, oh, okay, all right, it's a game, guys, calm down. It's not that serious. Don't go threaten someone over their opinion. Come on.
The same way that there's a time and place for kind of exclusivity or inclusion in like gaming and stories and that, there is never a time and place for that kind of harassment and that kind of bullying.
The fact that you have to like take the article, like edit the article to take their name out, like just like, all right, people, all right, look, I understand you don't agree with the opinion, but come on, let's relax.
It's in the same way where we can we'll look at reviews we don't agree with or we think are silly, and we can laugh at them and be like, yeah, this I don't know if they actually played the game.
Yeah.
But also, it's like it doesn't matter. They're the ones who played it. This is their opinion on the product.
Right.
It's like I don't have to. It's like just because someone has a different opinion, don't go after them.
Yeah. No. That's facts. Like even the opinion that I the review where it's just like, it's like this is not the Souls like that I expect. We can make fun of that and pick on that all we want, but I mean, look, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion, buddy. But I don't know what you thought going into it.
It is entirely possible that somehow that person missed the news.
It is, and that's totally fair.
It is entirely possible that they saw like the original trailers and stuff for it.
Yeah, and just that was kind of what
like
they're
the
going
cinematic
off of.
trailers, and they went, "Oh, it's a Souls-like game," and then kind of stayed away from it until they got their review copy. Mm-hmm. It's like if you missed the news, unfortunate because you're not getting the type of game you thought you were getting, but also, who are we to judge your expectations going into it?
Right, true. One thing I was going to ask you about, because even with the overwhelmingly positive reviews, which there are a lot of them, let me stress that, which is very exciting. The one thing that's been I've seen a consistent of is that there is a worrisome amount of some bugs, and there's nobody who's gotten a PlayStation 5 review copy. Did you pre-order on PlayStation or PC?
PlayStation.
Okay. Does that worry you at all that no one's gotten does it worry you for the PS5 version?
Not really.
Because see, like, it hasn't really worried me too much, but people are trying to twist it into a bigger deal where it's just like, for anyone getting on PlayStation 5, I would hold off until you see some early impressions. I'm not holding off. I'm getting scanned.
I think it's more of a case of when it comes to review copies of games. Like, I think PC is just more universal.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's more universal. Like, if you send it, because it's like, if you send a company, like, a review copy or 2 review copies of it, if you send them a PC code, somebody at that company is going to have a PC and be able to be like, yeah, I can go through that.
Right.
PS5, it's like, yeah, they probably have PS5s around.
Mm.
I'm not worried about it because we already know that was it Game Science?
Yeah, Game Science.
We already know that Game Science isn't. They're not holding back when it comes to like hammering down performance or like criticizing performance. It's the reason it's not coming to Xbox right now.
Yep.
And it's because of the Xbox Series S.
Yep.
It's like they've straight said it. They're like, yeah, we're holding off on Xbox because we won't be able to hit the quality.
Right.
We won't be able to hit the performance.
It's coming, but we're holding off.
So I'm not worried about it if I play it and it's like if I go to play it and it's rough and that. I mean, that'll be unfortunate.
Right.
But I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it for one simple reason. I played Cyberpunk day one, and I had a lot of problems. I know you guys didn't. We've talked about this, but I did, and I made it through that. So I'll be all right with Black Mirror. It can't be like Cyberpunk. It's not like... If it was like Cyberpunk, we would have already heard about it, right? So I'm good. I'm set. The Xbox One, that I don't know. Who knows when that will even come out, to hit that quality and performance. I've seen some comments of people just like, oh, man, Black Myth Wukong is... getting these kind of review scores. PlayStation stays winning, and everyone's just like, dude, it's coming to Xbox too. It's on PC. It's not a PlayStation exclusive. I'm sorry, buddy. You can twist that logic all you want, but it's not a PlayStation exclusive.
No, it's like they fully planned on putting on Xbox the whole time. It's just optimizing a high quality performance game for the Xbox Series S is hard, apparently.
Yeah, as we've seen on multiple cases.
Yeah.
I will say, obviously, both of us very excited coming in this game. The one review, title, that one headline that I saw that just yes, let's go. That just got me excited because it's like we already knew what this was going to be, but just seeing a review say it, that's it. It's just like, let's go. It was from Games Radar. I've got it up here where it says Black Myth Wukong is a great action RPG that feels like God of War for Chinese mythology. I'm like, that's it. That's what I wanted to hear, baby. That's what I'm here for. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that'll be great.
That's
It's
what
like
that's what I want.
Yeah, it's like, I think I saw something like it's supposed to be generally more linear.
Yeah.
Generally more linear, but also kind of big open areas to roam around in, similar to God of War.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's perfectly fine.
Perfect.
I mean, since 2018, God of War has been a fucking juggernaut.
Yes.
And universally praised. So if we're getting a game like that has generally faster, looks to be more exciting combat, not that God of War doesn't have exciting combat, especially in Ragnarok, it kind of went up a notch.
Yeah.
But generally faster combat feels more like faster combat is usually like it kind of goes two ways. Sometimes it can feel less impactful, but from the trailers and stuff that we've seen with the transformations and different like weapon styles and stuff that you use, doesn't feel like that's going to be an issue. But sometimes with faster combats, you run the risk of not your hits not feeling impactful. But from what we've seen, I keep flashing back to that trailer from what was it, like 6 months ago, with the fucking dragon coming in and just the staff.
Dude, that is such a sick shot.
It's like my mind jumps back there. I'm like, okay, well, if I see that in the game, I don't think I can ever complain about impactful.
Right. Steve popped in chat and he said, when does this masterpiece come out? It comes out Tuesday, my friend. He did not say masterpiece, though. He's still trying to shit on the game and make me mad. That's why we're just going to ignore it and misquote him. So, yeah, it comes out Tuesday. Very excited.
No, you just helpfully correcting him.
Yeah, that's the right way to put it. We're just helpfully correcting him, putting him on the right path. But no, that shot of the dragon, though, that does live rent free in my brain. Just extending the pole and just smacking him as it's full. Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, I'm still very excited for this game.
Yep.
I mean, this is one of those, like, regardless of what reviews, if this game came out and reviewed in the mid 90s, we'd be excited. If this came out and reviewed in the 70s for some reason, we'd still be excited.
Yep. Facts.
Because, well, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't matter if like the game you're excited for, if the bulk of people give a shit or not.
Yeah.
In this case, it looks like, I mean, reviews are up and down, but general kind of reception right now, like you said, very positive.
Yep. Facts. I saw one comment where it's like, you're talking about us being excited no matter if it was 70s or 90s or 80s, whatever. I saw one comment that's so funny. It just reminded me immediately of our, there's nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10 game, whatever. Where it's just like a thread of, like, I think it was IGN, which who gives a shit about their opinion, right? But it was the IGN Twitter post, and someone comments just like, don't want to read, just post the score. And someone responded posting the score from the article being an 8. He said, thanks, too low. And I'm like, what do you mean? 8 out of 10 is fine. Give me the board.
No,
Give me the board.
I do want to. This is one of those where as much as I've gone to bat for 7 out of 10s, there's nothing wrong with 7 out of 10.
Facts.
This is one of those where, as I think I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but we've definitely agreed on it before. I mean, as you know, like, we're busy. We don't have time to play all the games we want to, or at least to finish all the games we want to.
Very true.
And I think we did talk about this, because I think I remember there being a comment about it when we went through our point, or like our valuing system.
Yeah.
Which was, some people, I mean, that attitude doesn't really show it from that comment that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But some people, it's like, if they don't have the time to play a bunch of games, they may only want to play the top-rated games of the year.
And that's fair.
But I
that's
think
valid.
The other problem is, for the last couple years, people have been spoiled with, like, 9s and 10s.
True.
It's like, for the last few
A lot of bangers.
For the last few years, people have had we've had a bunch of 9 and 10 games. People got to remember that's not the norm.
Yeah.
It's like that just happens to be the cycle where some of these developers have just they hit the cycle where they were just going bang 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 one after the other and like left room for everyone to release their games. So I mean, think back a few years ago, we didn't have a whole like there's been a few years where it's like, man, what? Where when it was like game of the year time, it's like I don't even know what they're gonna put up there.
Yep. I think the year was Sekiro. We felt that way. Even the year It Takes Two, even though It Takes Two, in hindsight, after I played it after the fact, is incredible. I feel like this year is one of those years. Genuinely, when your top-rated game of the year is still Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, like a remake that's only a middle part of the remake, like I think that says something about how this year is. This year feels like a down year.
Yeah, I mean,
Lots of good quality games, but nothing that's like
I mean, this is the year where I mean, yeah, unless we get a banger towards this later half of the year, yeah, our game of the year nomination is going to be for some 8 out of 10 games.
Yep.
Which is different than the last few years where it's like, well, here's the 9s and a 10.
Yep.
It's like, and then what was it? 2020, was it 2022 or 2023? With
Elden and God.
Yeah,
that was 22.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, that was the year of like that year was like, okay, here's your 9s and your 10s, like multiple.
Yeah,
like that was a crazy year.
And then last year was crazy too, but it was still like it was crazy because you had 10s with like Spider-Man and Tears, but then you had an 11 with Baldur's Gate 3. So it's like even though you had these 10s, it's like, well, we have a very rare 11, you know? Like
then,
what?
Yeah, and then like now so far it's like we've had good games this year.
Yeah.
But we haven't yet had that game that is universally praised. Hell, even Final Fantasy. I've heard nothing.
Yeah, no, it's fallen off a cliff.
It's like heard nothing.
I know it's a story game, so it's like it's gonna have that. Most story games have that natural reaction of once everyone kind of finishes it after a few weeks, it falls off a cliff. But I feel like the true legendary ones don't ever fall off a cliff.
Well, that's the thing of like, remember back when Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first part came out, it's all anybody could talk about for months.
Yeah.
I nothing.
Yeah.
I like legitimately couldn't have told you if it came out.
Right.
Because there's been so little talk.
Yeah. No, and it has. It's been a strange level of lack of talk on the Rebirth.
Yeah, it's just one of those where, man, by the end of this year, I mean, we could have some sleeper hits later on.
Yeah.
But currently, like, it's weird to say that a year that's so far kind of full of 8 out of 10s is like a low year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because we've had some fucking bangers.
Yeah, we have. Steve also said earlier about Black Myth that he hopes it's amazing and everyone feels great about it. It's obviously not what he said. I'm just trying to helpfully correct on what he actually said. So thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, man. We are all hoping that it's going to be amazing and everyone's going to feel great about it. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Tuesday. Going to be great. As soon as I get home. The downside is I got to take a day trip to a couple of my 3-hour away stores on Tuesday. Something came up. So I was like, I've already said, it's like, all right, guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to my 3-hour away location. I'm knocking out what I got to do. I'm knocking out the thing I got to do at the other store, and I'm leaving. It's like I'm leaving, and I'll make up the time the rest of the week. I don't care, but I'm leaving early. Steve said a remake is game of the year. Yay! That's John's opinion too, buddy.
Yeah, we could finally agree on something.
Finally agree on something.
No, that has been a topic that I have had a firm stance on.
Yeah.
For a long time, and I try to voice as much as possible. I do not believe that a remake should ever be in contention for game of the year, especially the current highest rated game of the year, Final Fantasy, should not be should not be like even considered because, and it shouldn't have been considered when the first part came out. It's not a full game. It's a third of a game. It's not even. It's like yes, yeah, it's like a 40-hour experience, but you're at
It's
the end
still
of the day
only
you're
a portion
playing
of the game.
At the end of the day, you're playing a third of a game.
Shout out to Shane in chat. Shane also says, "Yup." To that whole mindset
Yeah.
is that a remake should not be game of the year.
Fucking frustrating.
It's stupid. And that, again, the worst part is, dude, unless we have like some incredible banger to come out between now, at least for the Keeley Awards, I'm convinced Final Fantasy's winning it, and that's what pisses me off.
That's the thing. Well, that's the other thing is every year
Remakes should never be considered. I mostly agree to that. It depends on how much the remake. If it's like a faithful 1-to-1 and people just love it, yeah, sure. But if it like goes above and beyond, or it's almost in a sense a new game, I can make an exception.
I don't know because it shouldn't.
It needs its own category because of how much it happens.
It shouldn't. Okay, it's gonna be a weird thing to say, and I acknowledge that before I say it.
Okay.
A remake should never be in contention for Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it in a different category.
Yeah.
Like if there's a different category that it could fit into,
Like best action, best adventure,
it's
whatever.
like that. I like it's still a gray area. I don't think it should be Game of the Year. I don't want it to be in the nominees. But if they're forcing it to be put in somewhere, it shouldn't be in the biggest slot.
Yeah. Steve said it's disrespectful to developers who are trying to push new content.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
And that's the fucking problem. For the next 5 years, we're gonna have a different damn Resident Evil remake in Game of the Year contention.
I know. Next, we'll have Resident Evil 5 in there at some point. Shout out to that, I guess. I can't remember if people were really high on Resident Evil. I think so. I know it was Resident Evil 6 that people hated. I think people really liked 5. So yeah, it'll probably be a game.
Doesn't matter. They like all the remakes.
Yeah, that's true. Every remake is going to do well. So it's like, let's see, 4 was in Game of the Year, 2 was, I think 3 was.
Yeah.
Like
I think they've all been in.
because they've only done those because they haven't remade the first game. I'm pretty sure.
They've
Whatever.
yeah, I think they've all been in,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
Yeah, and then I know the Final Fantasy remake was in the nominees years ago. Rebirth is going to be in the nominees this year. So yeah, no, what Steve said is disrespectful to new developers who are trying to push for new content. Like, that's a great way to put it. You know what I mean? 'Cause people are trying to come up with original new ideas, and it's just like, well, let's do a remake. Like, I love me some remakes, dog. I love me some remakes. I love some remasters, especially. It's great to get these games like a little small pat on the ass, quality of life improvement up on modern consoles. That's awesome. But like, I do agree. Let's push for new content. And then Shane said, "Bring on Silent Hill." Yeah, I forgot Silent Hill 2's coming out. That'll probably be a nominee.
I know.
That'll be a nominee.
Yeah, when I said Resident Evil, I was like Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
Yeah,
they're gonna remake them all,
right?
And they're all gonna be in there.
Yep. Can I get a Siphon Filter remake? Maybe one day, buddy. Yeah, they're remaking everything right now. Maybe one day. Look, I got one of my dream remakes with Super Mario RPG. So like and I got a phenomenal remaster that was basically a remake with the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I'm kind of good. I'm set. The only thing I want now is a Sonic 06 remake. Make that game the way it should have been. The potential was there.
No, they made the game they wanted to.
The game Sega wanted to, yeah, not the devs themselves. The devs themselves have pleaded and begged, please delay this game. Please delay this game. Hey, but after an insanely long time, they have finally acknowledged Sonic 06's existence with Sonic X Shadow Generations. Because, even though Shadow is such a popular character, obviously, and he's been around for a while, if you think about it, he hasn't been a playable character in that many games. So to get levels for his portion of the game, they did have to pull from Sonic 06. So shout out to that. Sonic 06 lives on in some capacity with Sonic X Shadow Generations. So shout out to that, I guess. And we got off the rails there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to get a good clip out of the remake stuff. So that's what matters. I'm going to get a good clip out of that.
If you want to clip some of that, you could have got up for... I go on this rant at least 6 times a year.
Can't wait for the Reddit to happen later on this year when we do the.
When the nominees get announced, I'm
yeah.
gonna be hot.
Yeah, because 2 of them are gonna be remakes, buddy. Silent Hill 2 and Final Fantasy, man. So get ready. Go ahead and mentally prepare yourself.
Usually I get pretty hot around that time.
Oh yeah. You know, then we've got our tourney bracket that we'll do.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll do our tourney bracket.
It's gonna be fucking dumb.
For the full year of games. We did 32 this past time, right?
I don't know.
I think we did 32. We're going to have to bump it up to 64. We got to be fair. We got a whole other half of games. We'll keep the original 32 and we'll add 32 more. We'll do 64. 64 team bracket. Just like March Madness. Shout out. It'll be great. Can't wait. All right. I'm going to shout out our first sponsor, Rogue Energy. You can use the referral link down below, promo code SPARKY3 to get 10% off your order. But hey, you know what? If they got a better sale going on, that is perfectly fine. Just use the referral link and you will be supporting the brand. Whether if you want to pick up the hydration line, the chill line, or the energy formula, whether if it is in the powder or the cans, they're both fantastic. Black Cherry Lemonade is my go-to. Rocket Pop, Strawberry Kiwi Grape Popsicle are great ones in the energy line. And Dragon Fruit Mango for hydration is also incredible. Use the referral link down below. 2 cams. There we go. Boom. Yeah, I'm gonna get a good clip out of that remake stuff. That's always good conversation right there. Let's see. All right, so the next thing that I had lined up, and this really just kind of, man, it just drives home the lack of energy on this show. Because there's a lack of creativity. The next thing that I've got is the conversation real quick around what would the next Xbox game be going over to PS5, because there's been some conversation about it. Some insiders and like leakers and stuff that have said that Xbox has their next game ready and prepared and should be announced possibly at Gamescom here on Tuesday, which shout out to Gamescom. Opening night live Tuesday, I think 1 o'clock our time. So I'm going to try to tune into that because I'll probably be driving back whenever it's going live.
Unfortunate news from this week. The First Descendants Season 1 trailer that was supposed to be full reveal Season 1 of new content.
It got leaked, didn't it?
That was supposed to be revealed at Gamescom, got leaked.
Hate that.
Got leaked, and they ended up just saying, screw it.
Just
released it themselves.
Yeah. So
the trailer's out there. So I don't know what they're going to show at Gamescom now.
That's unfortunate. Probably just re-show the trailer.
Maybe they had something else cooked up as well, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Gamescom opening night live though looks like it will have a pretty decent little lineup. I mean, it's going to have an interesting update on a lot of games. Yeah, obviously no new reveals or anything, I don't think, but it's going to have at least a solid update on a lot of stuff. You know, I know we already shout out last week that I know like Monster Hunter Wilds will get an update there, so that's cool. Monster
Hunter Wilds it's been great. They've been
all those separate videos.
They've been making posts of all the weapons and like overviews for weapons and kind of showing new attacks and stuff. It's been gret.
Yeah, no,
I haven't watched them all yet, but I started watching them yesterday.
Yeah, and then we'll get whatever big trailer they'll put out at Gamescom. Man, I had a list earlier. I think it was from Jeff Keighley who put out the list of everything that's going to be there on opening night live, and it looks solid. Looking forward to it. I'll watch it Tuesday whenever I'm driving back. But like I said, we should also potentially get a reveal at Gamescom of whatever Xbox's next game would be for the PlayStation 5. I don't know what it would be personally. So some heavy rumored ones is that Indiana Jones is going to be on PS5. The other one would be Forza Horizon 5. Those have had the most conversation because apparently with Indiana Jones, it's still coming out this year is apparently the word, even though there's no release date still. So maybe release date at Gamescom plus the reveal that, it's on PS5 too. Here you go. But then Forza Horizon 5 has also had a lot of conversation that it's going to be the next game. And then I've seen other conversations around, of course, Starfield and Halo Infinite. We've talked about those before. Hellblade 2 and even Flight Simulator going to PS5. I've seen some conversation around Avowed and Elder Scrolls 6 further down the line, obviously. But, more current this year, that's everything that I've seen. That could be the next possibility.
I mean, honestly,
I guess the question I have for you is what makes the most sense in your brain? Because the ones they added all make sense, right? So what makes the most sense to you?
Of those, the one that makes the most sense would probably be Forza.
Yeah,
The one that they probably need to do is Indiana Jones.
I agree. I agree.
As much as much as like we said before, I'm out of that. I'm not excited for that. I'm out of that. I was last time we talked about it. I was like, are people excited for this? Because I'm just not in that sphere. I don't know.
We're not fans.
I don't. If that game only releases on Xbox, I do not think it's going to do well.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the audience for that is small.
Right.
Nothing against the game itself. It looks fine.
Yeah.
But it's one that I think would get lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people would go out of their way to play it necessarily, because I guess they might, because it could have the same effect to a lesser degree that Hogwarts Legacy had. This is not me saying anything bad about Hogwarts Legacy, but if Hogwarts Legacy didn't have Harry Potter behind it, I don't think that game would have done well.
We're gonna die on this hill. People disagree with us every time I put this out there. I make a short about it. I make a TikTok about it. We always get disagreements, but we will die on this hill. We will die on that hill. That Harry Potter carries that game.
Yeah, because I mean the one thing people talk about with that game is the vibe and the feeling. The vibe and the feeling is because it's Harry Potter.
Thank you.
Indiana Jones could have that to a degree, not the same degree at all.
Yeah. Not to the same level, but the same general idea.
Yeah, the same general idea where people will want to play an Indiana Jones game. I don't think that's going to carry it.
Yeah.
Unless it just comes out and it's a crazy good. Is it an action adventure game?
Yeah, something like that.
Unless
action adventure puzzle game. Yeah. I don't know what this game is.
Unless it's like crazy good for the genre, I don't see it being like a breakout hit that they might expect it to be. So if they were going to release a game on PS5 as well,
action adventure,
that would be the one that I would say this one needs it.
Yeah. I would say that one definitely makes the most sense because, like, one thing Steve said in chat, it's just like, he doesn't think Forza would happen because of Gran Turismo, which that's fair.
That's the thing. It's like Forza, I would say just like that's more of. I kind of wish it would because as big as it is, it would just grow.
Yeah,
like, it would just
keep getting bigger.
It would triple in size, or like triple in players probably. And that's just that many more PlayStation players out there probably.
Yeah. Shane also said Uncharted will always be superior in that genre, which I agree. I don't see Indiana Jones touching.
I don't
Uncharted.
I don't know we can say that yet.
I mean, yeah, we gotta wait to see.
I believe that's probably true. I didn't want to say Uncharted at first.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want to compare it to it because the game's not out. Once the game comes out, I think we can fairly say that. That's why I was like, unless it comes out and it's crazy good for that genre, because based off trailers and that, I don't think it's fair to compare it to that. As much as we've been talking of Black Myth Wukong based on trailers for 4 years. But I wouldn't compare it to an established dominant member of the genre before it's come out.
Right, yeah. No, in terms of like going over to PlayStation 5, like the next Xbox title to do so, I definitely think Indiana Jones is the one that would need it in terms of upcoming releases. In terms of releases that already happened, I feel like the one that could maybe get any form of boost to it might be Hellblade, because like Hellblade was reviewed really well, sure, but we know that didn't like hit incredible numbers.
The problem is they're gonna see the same pattern they saw with the original Hellblade, which is that game did not pop off in the beginning. That game, that's a slow burn game.
Yeah.
That is a slow burn hit. The problem is it's also like in Hellblade 2, like 6 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna hurt it a bit for people. Like if they put that on another console, people are not gonna appreciate having to pay full price for a 6 hour game.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Shane also said earlier, Gears, LMAO. I mean, hey, they tried that. It didn't work, but they tried it with Gears 1. Gears 1 was on the PlayStation 3. And then
That's unfair to compare to, though.
yeah, I know. I think
That's like compared PS4 to Xbox One.
yeah, I know. I know. I'm just saying they did try it. And then Xbox bought the IP, I think is what happened, is why only the first Gears is on PS3. But they at least tried it. Oh man, he did did make it. I didn't think you were gonna make it today.
That makes way more sense. I thought
Say his name and he appears.
I legitimately thought your dogs were hitting the door and
Breaking in.
and then it opened.
Yeah.
There's probably a split second of just pure
man.
shock and amazement on my face there.
I probably need to go see. I need to fix Zach's camera here. We had a power outage, so the cameras got a little fucked up because of that. But what's up, Zach? I didn't think I'd see you today.
I didn't know whether I would be here either.
Oh yeah, I got to turn you up.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
There we go.
And turn you on.
Well, I was on.
In more than one way. All right, there we go. So you're on, so we can hear you. So that's great. How's it going, Zach?
It's all right.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you know what we were talking about?
Yes, because I clapped because of it.
Okay.
Okay. That's good. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean,
That's a face of someone going, I don't give a shit.
I really don't, because I'm in the same boat of I've never cared about Indiana Jones. I could give not a single shit about a new action adventure, especially since it's first person Indiana Jones.
Right.
All I know is he'll have a bullwhip. He'll probably punch a couple guys, specifically Russian people. No, actually, I think they are Nazis again this time. Never mind, not Russian people, Nazis. Yeah, it'll be a thing.
Yeah. But do you think it would be it'd probably be beneficial to throw that thing at multiplat?
Oh, most definitely.
Because that's kind of our opinion. Is like if Xbox is going to make some reveal at Gamescom of like a title going to play, I feel like Indiana Jones with a release date and going to PlayStation is probably a smart move.
Yep.
I can't think of any other like smaller scale Xbox games that could be moved over to, because obviously they moved 4 over and they were all like varying in scale. They moved over before. I can't think of any other games off the dome, like smaller ones that could potentially go.
Even discounting smaller ones, like if we were looking at, even though I would say it's low potential, you mentioned it, like Starfield.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they would do it yet.
Probably not.
I would say it would eventually happen just because of the way Xbox has been talking and considering like what games they move over in that. Starfield is one that, yeah, it's as much as it came out to an unresounding meh.
Facts.
If you put that game multiplat, people are gonna buy it just to play it.
And it'll be better received at this point just because Starfield has had several updates since its meh announcement.
That's
release.
why I think they're gonna wait a little while. They're gonna put like 2 or 3 more big DLC packs onto it with a bunch of quality of life updates, so that by the time it goes multiplat, it's a
the people who
game.
weren't on Xbox will go, why did they think this was bad?
Yeah, it'll come out and they'll go, man, what were these people talking about?
It's like, oh man, this is great. This is the best game I ever played. I don't know if I'd go that far, but you never know. But no, that.
I mean, you said that about Cyberpunk every day while it was a piece of shit.
Great game, just broken. I stand by that. Great game. It's just broken. They fixed it.
That's still one of my favorite games to have played on launch, just because of the fact that like you go online and it's videos, articles, everybody complaining,
and you and me didn't get a single
game
thing
on fire. It's all these bugs. Game doesn't work, and meanwhile I'm like, this game's pretty fun. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, game's great. Oh man, it crashed a lot for me. Like I said, it crashed during the credits, and I'm like, man, if that's not the cherry on top for my Cyberpunk experience, I don't know what was. But great game, just broken. Stand by it. All right, it's a great game. It was just incredibly broken. A broken game does not make a bad game. Okay, at least that's my opinion.
But a bad game's usually broken.
A bad game is usually broken. Yes, but a broken game is not always a bad game. It's a good game that can be fixed, like Cyberpunk or No Man's Sky, another example as well. But let me see if I can. I'm curious. Let me pull up old Game Pass here and let's see if I can go through Game Pass and see any other games that could potentially go to PlayStation because I'm curious. Like any smaller titles. I'm not 100% sure.
In the meantime, surprise topic change.
What you got?
Here we go.
You heard of Dungeonborn?
Yep.
Game's fucking great.
I haven't actually played it, but
Been playing it.
okay.
TLDR, Dark and Darker clone. With Dark and Darker with it's like similar type game, very similar. There's a church map, dungeon maps, fight monsters, fight people, get loot, escape. Basic type game. You've heard me talk about Dark and Darker, very similar to it. I haven't played Dark and Darker in a while. I don't know what current update status it's at as far as what's in the game. Dungeonborn runs great. Little less jank than Dark and Darker had the last time I played it. Like this Dungeonborn runs smoother.
Okay.
There's a fully integrated quest system. There's kind of a crafting system. They have different modes too, but back to the crafting system. They have things they have called heirloom items.
Okay.
Which you can have 3 of: a weapon, an accessory, and an armor piece. And it's essentially you research it, and then you can add some additional stats to it as you level it up. Leveling it up, you have to disassemble different rarity gear. So
If you die, do you lose it?
you lose it, but you can recraft it. The recrafting is extremely cheap.
Oh, okay.
That's a
It's
plus.
basically losing it. It's basically like you can, if you play the game for a long period of, or if you play the game and you do all the, and like disassemble items and stuff, there's less of a focus on kind of trading weapons because it's not like typically in a game like that, you would get like a crazy roll weapon.
Yeah.
If you go to sell the weapon, it's like selling a base of a weapon. So if you get a green pair of boots and you want to sell it, you put it on the marketplace and sell it. Whoever buys it, they're just buying a green pair of boots and it randomly rolls stats.
Interesting. Okay.
So it keeps prices down. So the prices are driven by the rarity of the gear, less so than the stats on the gear.
That's interesting. Okay.
And I think there's like 7 or 8 classes. But the heirloom weapons, when you buy it, it starts out as an uncommon green rarity. You can add additional stats onto it. So you can add like percentage fire damage, percent lightning damage, critical hit chance, and stuff like that. And you can upgrade the rarity. So as you disassemble like green uncommon rarity gear, you gain like crafting materials for that. And you use those crafting materials to either recraft the weapon after you die and lose it, or you use them to upgrade it to the rare version of the weapon. And then once you have that rare version of the weapon, if you die, when you craft it, you get that rare version of it back.
Okay.
And for context, once you've researched the weapon, crafting it costs 2 materials, like 2 green materials. Disassembling a green quality item gives you 15. So you can basically go infinite on it.
So more or less, they made a system where you want to get the best gear spec you can craft, but at the same time, you don't have to overly worry about losing it and can experiment.
Yeah, it's like you can go into it. It's like you can go in and play. It's basically just a way of, because similar to Dark and Darker, you have a baseline common set of gear
Yeah.
that you can go into with whatever. But they also have this where it's like, well, if you die, you can very cheaply have 3 of whatever quality gear that you have. And the actual crafting or the buying of gear, it's pretty cheap. Like green gears ranges from like 800 to like 2,000 a piece, which like quest rewards give you like 7,000. So gold's not really an issue yet for me, and I've been able to buy a bunch of gear after like buy a full set of green or blue gear, go in, do a couple runs, die, rebuy it, go in, kind of cycle through it, and not feel like I'm just bleeding gold.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, it's been very fun. The different classes are kind of interesting because some classes are more established than others currently, where they have more, because you get to pick 2 abilities similar to Dark Darkshire. You basically get like a damage ability and a support ability, kind of. And some classes have like 2 or 3 to pick from for each one. Some, like the class I've been playing is the Pyromancer, has 1 of each, but they're working on more abilities for them. But the interesting aspect of the characters is, so the stats like strength and dexterity, all of that, they have passives on them that you have to hit breakpoints in those stats to gain access to the passive, but the passives are powerful. So like the Pyromancer, like at 50 intelligence, if you hit someone with a stage 2 charge fireball, which is the traditional big fireball,
Okay.
then it puts a
Burn.
burn on them. They have one where his other ability is like a wave around you that knocks back. That gets the burn effect as well. One of the other passives is you heal based off the number of enemies you hit with that ability.
Okay.
So it's like there's very powerful. The passives are very powerful, which makes trying to invest into the stats beneficial. So you kind of have something to strive for with your stats. It's like, do you want to go all in and try to get? Because like for the Pyromancer, there's 2 passives for intelligence, whereas all the other stats have 1. So you can go all in on intelligence and get 1 really powerful ability, or like 2 very powerful passives, or you can kind of spread out and have a more utility-based stream, like overall good kit. So it's kind of interesting playing around with some of the characters and trying to see which passives stack really well with others. But that's part of what's been fun about it, is trying to use some of the passives, see which ones are good, find out which characters are fun and like kind of fun to play and interesting combinations to play with. But so far very fun. Also in the maps, they're like on the mini map. Each time you spawn in, there's like 4 or 5 like mini bosses on the map that are like werewolves. One is a werewolf, one's a cyclops. There's I don't.
Is it across just the one map or several maps?
Several maps, and different maps have. I think different maps have some of the different bosses, or it may just be that I've only noticed them on some bosses. But there's like a traditional like Soul Reaper type boss, and usually not too hard of fights, but depending on the room they spawn in, might be kind of challenging to fight them in that room. And if typically not too hard to kill, but some of them, if you do get hit, you're gonna feel it. But it's been pretty fun. I think we've killed most of the mini bosses that we've come across, and we've only gone down to it once. Whereas like Dark and Darker, part of the game is descending into the lower levels of the dungeon. In this game, there is a corruption portal that seems to lead to a massive like Lich King boss fight. We've only done it once. We didn't make it through because we kind of just went in blind, not knowing what to expect.
Is that portal just available at any time?
It's kind of like Dark and Darker. It's a red portal. You open it up
okay.
and then you go do a boss fight.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, been very fun. There's also additional modes. Like there's just a deathmatch mode where you can go in 3v3. And I guess it's like you just go into an arena and fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how that works. I haven't done it.
Gotcha.
And then they have, I think they have 2 different PvP modes, and then several different like maps to play on. But very fun so far.
How much is it? Only like $20, I think. I just looked it up a minute ago.
I think it's free.
Oh, is it free? Oh, I was looking at a different number. Yeah, okay. It did just come out this year. Came out last month.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Very fun to play. Like I said, there's
it's the extra content of the game.
Yeah,
is where I
there's
saw price. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and they have they have different like options for queuing where you can choose like if you're going into a duos game with like one other person, you can choose to queue only for like duos and trios, or you can choose to queue with anybody, so you can get in with solo players, duos, trios, whatever. But very fun so far. Highly recommend.
Also, shout out the Far Cry franchise is all on sale. So if you want to pick up Far Cry on Steam, now's your chance. All of them are on sale. They're all amazing games.
Alex. So you get Black Myth next week. You know what we can talk about after the week after that? Emu. A Smiling Man. Famicom Detective Club.
I don't think you understand how fucking interested I am in this game. I'm being
August 29th.
I'm being dead ass, man. I do want to pick this game up.
And Vampire Survivors on the same day releasing for PS4 and PS5.
We also have the Frank Stone coming out soon.
On September 3rd. I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, so we got that. I am very interested in the Smiling Man. I'm not even going to bullshit you on that. I'll be buying the new Five Nights at Freddy's today and playing it after the show.
Oh, Into the Pit?
Yep, so I may touch on that after we fangirl over Black Myth next week.
I don't think you understand the time slot for next week's show.
I'm aware. Yeah, that's why I said just kind of touch on. You know, I understand how next week's going to probably go. Next week's going to be in the same realm as it was when like we have like God of War Ragnarok for John, or Spider-Man 2, or Sonic Frontiers, or the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, where it's just like there's going to be a large chunk of time on this one thing, and you're just going to have to get over it. That's just how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go.
You say God of War Ragnarok for me. I'm not sure if by the end of it you didn't like that game more than I did.
That's true. It is one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. That game, what God of War 2018 did for you, Ragnarok was able to accomplish for me. Like the way that you've put it before is so accurate. 2018 is for all the long diehard God of War fans, right? So is Ragnarok, but 2018 especially is for all the long-term fans, while Ragnarok is for the 2018 fans. Yeah. And that's totally accurate. As someone that has not gone through the entire God of War franchise, but would really like to, let me make that clear. Ragnarok was definitely the game for me. That was great. I really enjoyed that game. I still need to go finish the free expansion. I still haven't finished it yet. Did you ever finish it? Okay. I'm surprised you didn't finish it.
You're surprised I didn't finish it? You know me. I don't go back to games very
often.
But
that's like one of your type of play styles. It's like roguelike.
Yeah, but the problem is my other play style of game is to get into whatever free to play grindy game that there is.
That's true. My bad. That's true.
It's a weird type of combination of games I like, but they're all time consuming.
They are. They are for you. That's 100% accurate. What about you, Zach? What have you been up to recently? Been up to anything special, unique, cool, fascinating? Same old.
Pretty much. Not as endless.
I have seen you on Zenless quite a bit.
And then a bit of during this past week, a little bit of Tribe 9.
Oh yeah, how's Travel 9 still treating you?
It's sort of hard when I'm playing Zenless because I mean, Tribe 9 I'm joined to a bit, but it's a beta. It's a closed beta at that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a lot in it that I'm hoping is going to get fleshed out. I mean, the base of it looks very promising, and the characters and whatnot. Story wise, I enjoy, but I also like that creator's stories. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the next beta of that.
I was just gonna say, man, poor Zenless Zone Zero for me. I was really enjoying playing Zenless Zone Zero, and then First Descendant came out. I didn't think I was gonna swap over, but god damn, did I? And then I haven't even been playing that much.
What first?
Yeah.
I mean, currently doing 1.2 content. Came out on Tuesday. Not 1.2, 1.1. Sorry. There's current leaks and stuff for 1.2, which is hopefully going to be the next main story stuff. We're getting leaks for our biker gang for 1.2. I'm currently messing with 1.1, so.
Off topic, but still just random game that I play. I did see that I think TFT got its new set. I've been meaning to jump into.
I believe so because I keep getting stuff.
You getting mobile ads for it too?
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
TFT's been pushing.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, new set. Let me go test it. 'Cause I played the shit out of that last set, but I did not really care for it.
It's funny how we all know the TFT set launch because we're getting the ads in our other
Yep.
mobile games.
Yep. Lot of ads right now. I finally updated and got back on Marvel Snap again for the first time in forever. Played a single round with an old deck of mine, still won the round. So I was like, all right, that's cool. But I'm just like, I went to the shop and everything, just kind of evaluate. It's like, all right, is there any changes to stuff? It's like, okay, well, I can customize cards now. Look however I want. That's cool because there are some cards that just look better with a certain border. So that's great. But then I'm looking around like, there's still not an easy way to get cards, I see. So that's cool. All right, let's get out of this game. It's a fortune because I like Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap's really fun. I just want to be able to get cards, especially since I haven't been on in, God, multiple seasons. Like multiple. I don't even know what the last season I played was.
To be fair, though, seasons and Snap's just a single month, so.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, dude, there's so many cards that I don't have. So many, like the key meta cards, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking play. I'm just gonna go in there, try to win with Galactus, and just be a dick. That's all I'm gonna do at this point. But no, I do want to hop on TFT soon. That's just that's TFT is just always my go and just kind of turn something on, kind of relax game.
I mean, besides that, I've been watching a bit of stuff on the 2XKO, the Riot fighting game. Mm-hmm. It actually looks like a solid fighting game, 2D partner fighting game. Mm-hmm. I'm actually very curious. I mean, it's only got 6 fighters currently. Yasuo, Ari, Darius, Echo, Braum, and Alawi.
That game's gonna take so long to actually until it actually comes out.
Yeah, I mean, currently people are playing it as from what I understand. I think it's a beta. It's current going on.
I haven't looked into it too much, but it's one of those where at the rate that they're going with that game, God, it's gonna take a while.
It is gonna take a while, but
I'm glad they're taking their time with it, because it's like they're taking their time with it, and they're doing what a lot of people don't do when they're taking an existing franchise and going into a different type of game. They're like, because some people are like, oh, we can get away with it, we can
just making skins on it.
Yeah, making a subpar game or putting a skin on it or something. They're like, no, we're going to develop a really in-depth fighting game.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking fairly solid because, 2v2s, the combos are there, air denials, all the fun stuff, fighting game mechanics, along with the switch-ins and assist, which is very interesting with 2XKO because in a lot of fighting games that have partners, you can either assist or switch in or do a switch-in attack. From what I've watched with 2XKO, in which it may just feel similar but just looks strange to me, you can actually do an assist attack and wait till the very last second, before doing like a switch in with the character while they're still on the field.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so because I think.
Well, no, I've seen that's how it works, and it just seems like a very strange switching mechanic to me compared to like Marvel vs. Capcom or other partner games that I have played before, just with how long the ability to do a switch in is after an assist.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The real interesting mechanic I saw with it is the fact that you can duo queue in that and have one player each play one of the fighters on the team.
That is something that I think a lot of people will look at as kind of like a meme thing to do, but also is one of the smartest things.
Yes,
the amount
it
of
is.
the amount of people that probably wouldn't play the game, or they jump in and they'd play it and be like, I'll play it because it's a new game, but I'm not a big fighting game person. Just the aspect of being like, okay, you play that character, I'm gonna play this character, and we're just gonna fuck around.
Pretty much. Because, I mean, seeing it, like watching it in actual watching a duo play is actually very interesting for a fighting game because the person who's on the backside actually can choose when to jump in and do their assist. So the first person doesn't necessarily have to think about it. They can call in an assist, but they can just leave it to their partner and just be like, if you see a spot, let's roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would 100% do that with you.
Yeah.
I would 100% just duo queue fighting game.
Yeah, no, because like overall watching it and like yeah, there is still some balancing because I've from some of the stuff I've seen, there is some characters that do have not perfect infinites, but near damn infinites combos, which sort of ruins it. If you get caught in a corner with one of those. But definitely the most intriguing thing to me because is the whole duo system with a partner in a fighting game. Very much intrigues me in just the capability and tech wise with it.
When is that? That's years away. Yeah.
Yeah, it has no actual official release
So
date.
is this just like a closed alpha that you're?
It's not an alpha. They're calling it a beta, but I mean, it's mostly streamers and influencers
That
who
have
currently
access
have.
to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda-
makes sense.
Kind of just being like, hey, we've been working on this. We need you guys to play this and figure out what we've messed up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
So I mean, from the most part, I've seen is a lot of people that have in the fighting game communities and whatnot. And from what looks like, there was a sign up at some point, which I never kept up with 2XKO, so I never probably saw it. But because like the main ones I'm seeing are like influencers, streamers, things like that, but also people who apparently signed up at some point. Because I mean, there's a decent amount of people playing it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Also, I've got some random shout outs that I saw while scrolling through Twitter right now. So, one, follow up on Black Myth Wukong. The first video of PS5 gameplay has been released and it looks fine. So, nothing to worry about. That's great. That's what we want to hear. Two, follow up on that Xbox PS5 thing. It was like Tom Warren with like The Verge and stuff that was reporting on that. Like they're going to make a game announcement soon. Has clarified that it will not be like some of like the four like big ones. Like it's not going to be Halo, Starfield. I don't remember what the other one just said, and Forza will not be one. So apparently, yeah, I think it may have been a Gears game. But then quite possible Hellblade is going to be in that contention. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
If it is going to be Hellblade to PS5. The other thing, not gaming related, but I wanted to shout this out, since you're here, just because. God, this is so fucking stupid. Just makes me mad. I fucking hate Attack on Titan.
The hell is Attack on Titan done?
They have a new movie called Attack on Titan, final season, The Last Attack. And it's just like, can we stop? Like, you've had a.
They still haven't finished?
I think they did. So what this is going to be, it's going to be a final chapter.
Is it just a feature cut?
Yeah, it's a compilation film with improved visuals. It's just like, God, can we stop? I hate Attack on Titan so damn much. Anyway, off that though, there was one other thing I just saw. What the hell was it? Just a little rumor to shout out. Would be more of a weekly wrap up thing that apparently Microsoft is trying to seek to relicense the Deadpool game and the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. So,
Oh, the ones that have been lost to time now?
correct. So Microsoft's trying to dig that up. So shout out to that.
You know the Deadpool game for some reason shot up to $300?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
I saw that.
What?
Some asshat was trying to sell it for $300 since it's now lost to time because it was a 360 sort of exclusive. I mean, it was on PS3 too, but
Oh my God!
yeah.
I see it for 200, the PS3 version on eBay. Jesus Christ! I'm gonna have to text Josh because he's got that.
I mean, it's. I think it's kind of just dead. It's a thing of like Deadpool's popular right now, so people are
It's
interested
not a
in it.
good. I mean, okay, it's a pretty funny game. I'm gonna admit, but in terms of like actual game, it's not great.
Yeah, it's just a thing of like Deadpool is out there making
And
billions of dollars right now.
It's
so
legitimately it's Deadpool's like only game as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware ever made.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like people are just looking for anything more Deadpool right now.
Because that thing before was like $10, $15.
Let's say you could probably get it for $6 somewhere.
As soon as it went off the 360 marketplace, because it went down, that sucker shot the hell up. Because like it pinged one of my sites I checked for price, and I went, "What the hell happened?"
Yeah, so I just found a factory sealed graded Deadpool for $2,000. Jesus Christ. Like, kind of pre-owned copies that are it's been used.
Workable condition.
Yeah, they're like $70 to $100, but then like I said, I saw the PS3 one for $200 damn dollars.
Yeah, because that one's fairly inconsistent because people were. Well, we know how the PS3 era went.
Yeah, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the first one on the Xbox 360 is $190 with Luca Games. It's like Jesus Christ. So yeah, maybe Microsoft's doing a good thing. They're doing a good deed for society, trying to relicense those games. So shout out to that. Oh Jesus Christ! Talk about that flashback. That's something else I should look at it doing at some point. I did the weirdest controllers video. If you haven't watched, you should go watch it. Maybe I should do a weird console video because I just saw throwback post of the original prototype Xbox that was literally just a giant silver X. So shout out
I
to
remember that.
Yeah, shout out to that. I just saw it pop up on my timeline. Oh man, shout out to prototype consoles. Shout out to prototype consoles.
Shout out to Prototype.
Shout out to Prototype. Prototype 1 and 2 is really good. Those are good games.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I enjoyed Prototype. I liked Prototype 1 more than I did 2.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, Prototype 1 was a lot of fun. That was such a cool concept.
Prototype 2 was a lot of cringe and whine.
Could be. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But really enjoyed
He
the
killed
first
my
one.
family.
Yeah. Good games, though, regardless, especially the first one. Second one, yeah, you can take it or leave it. Anyway, you guys have anything else you want to chat about? You want to hit the weekly wrap up?
You can have to wrap up.
All right, bet. So the first thing that was in the wrap up was shouting out that Tango Gameworks is not dead. So shout out to that. They have been acquired by the PUBG creators Crafted and also attained the rights to Hi-Fi Rush, and they have plans to expand the IP.
That was so well left field.
It was. Did not see that one coming. But hey, shout out to them. Hi-Fi Rush was borderline Game of the Year nominee.
I'm waiting for PUBG season when it's just a rhythm beat game.
Oh, I know. They're going to tie in Hi-Fi Rush somehow to PUBG.
I would hope so.
I mean, you get the rights for it now. So maybe we will actually see a Hi-Fi Rush too. As the only person that actually played the game, does that excite you?
I mean, it'd be entertaining. I mean, it was a good, fun experience.
Right. Such a shame that Tango got shafted by Xbox.
He did get shafted pretty hard.
Dude, that was so aggressive. Like, we went through all the clarity. Like, we got like the full clarity of how the decision was made, right? And it's just like, okay, I guess it makes sense, but it still sucks. we don't like it, but it does make some more sense. I'm glad that, Jesus Christ, what are the dogs doing? I just saw a zip go by in the window anyway. So I'm glad that the PUBG creators, stepped up, because anytime we see stuff like that, where you see a studio get shafted due to business reasons or whatever, like it sucks to see them just completely just go away forever. So kind of like with Toys for Bob, they got shafted.
Yep.
And then they were able to kind of bring themselves back up and go independent. So that's awesome. That's great. They're still alive doing their thing. So it's kind of the same thing for Tango, where it's like, okay, great. you know, you're getting another chance at life, which is awesome because they were preparing a pitch for Hi-Fi Rush 2 before they got shafted. Now it's like, okay, will Arcane Austin get picked up by someone? No, probably not. But would it be nice? Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, they've got a respectable history besides Redfall. I still think it's so unfortunate that game killed the studio.
Let it be known, Arcane Austin was very much against Redfall.
They were aggressively against
But they were
Redfall.
under contract. They had to make it.
Yeah, and they were hoping that Microsoft was going to can it when the purchase went through, and did not. Man, like I said before, it is so like it's got to be a different level of hatred for devs at that studio, for heads of that studio, a different level of hatred for Redfall because it literally killed the studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different level. Like you could hate it like John does because he played it and almost beat it. Shout out to that. But like, there's got to be a different level of hatred for them because they literally lost their jobs over that game. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, the whole time going through, it's like, this game's gonna suck. We're probably gonna get fired for this.
Oh, there was probably a low morale from the mid to finality of that production of that game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just unfortunate.
They
But
may have had like a spark and maybe it'll be okay at the start of it, but
yeah,
as it continue on, it was just low morale.
yeah, it's just like, God, I need to look for another job. It's like I'm about to lose this one. This one's about to be gone forever. But at least Tango's getting another chance at life, though. Shout out to the PUBG creators for, like Zach said, out of left field, making that purchase. Shout out to that. All right, next up, we got some Switch 2 news, because everyone loves that. It's just quick, though, thankfully. Apparently, April 2025 is the earliest the console will launch and launch under 500. I don't feel like that's news. I thought that was already a thing, but for some reason, it blew up as news this week, and I'm like, I thought that was already established. The one thing that I did think was like, okay, well, that's at least worth shouting out, is that apparently, per a rumor with component suppliers, says that mass production of this new Switch will begin the next quarter. So I would say over the next like 3 months, keep an eye out for like the gaming like leaks Reddit or whatever, because there's
Watch that Walmart shopping center.
there's a strong possibility you're going to start seeing leaks of the console in production, right? Because it's happened, I think, every single time. Because I remember like the leak going around for like the Switch Lite that someone shared in production. It's like, that's not real. Ended up being real, So if you get excited, I guess you're about to probably see the Switch 2 here in the next few months. Is quite possible. Apparently, Super Mario Party Jamboree is now coming with a 3-month NSO membership. So
Fun.
shout out to that. Still really excited to pick that game up. Also, shout out to Pokemon Worlds is underway right now. So if you haven't tuned in and maybe you want to see what's going on, do so.
Watching it right now.
Literally as we speak.
Yeah. I've had it on the whole time.
That's great. Perfect shout out then. Star Wars Eclipse. Anyone remember that game? Apparently, it has continued to be in developmental hell. This is by Quantic Dream. The lead writer has now left the studio to form his own studio. So this game has been
Wasn't
in
this the
development hell.
Telltale one?
I wouldn't call it Telltale.
Well, Telltale style.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, essentially, because this is the one like
It's narrative based.
Yeah, it's Detroit Become Human Star Wars is what it is, and it is just it's in just the worst possible state.
Now I want a Detroit Become Human mod where you just play as a droid.
I mean, that's what this was gonna be, basically. Probably, who knows?
Roger, let the girl go.
No, I don't know if we'll ever see this game. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of like the Knights of the Old Republic 2 remake, whatever. Like, apparently that is still a thing. I don't believe it. I don't think it's a thing. I think that's dead. I think that's gone. I'm kind of in the same boat with Eclipse. I'm convinced it's just honestly not going to happen. But what will happen is some of these games that's coming out here soon. Plucky Squire finally got a release date for it.
Hey.
September 17th, and it will be coming to PlayStation Plus, which I do have again. So I can play it there. So that's great. Because this game does look really fun. It looks very creative, very unique. So I'm excited for this one. Until Dawn Remake is launching October 4th. So shout out to that. Age of Empires Mobile is launching October 17th. And Dragon Age The Veilguard launches on Halloween.
Did you see that it got leaked?
What portion got leaked?
Well, so the release trailer was released early.
Okay, yeah, I did
Is
see
what
that.
happened.
Yeah.
And then that's when whoever went, well, I guess we're showing it off now.
Yeah, it's like what he said earlier about First Descendant thing.
Because, yeah, I think that happened Monday.
Yeah. So Halloween Day, it's coming out. So I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it. Am I going to get it day one? Probably not, because it's Halloween, and I'd rather like watch horror movies. You know, that's my preference. But I will be getting it probably before the end of the year at least. I don't know, because I'll still probably be like deep in Metaphor. So I don't know if the Veilguard's going to reach my radar or not, you know? So it's a we'll see. But it does look fun. Now, what does sound very fun, and I'm just hoping and praying to everything in existence that it's not a fucking Dead by Daylight, is Evil Dead creators are developing 2 new games based on Halloween and using Unreal Engine 5, and John Carpenter is directly and very heavily involved. Please just don't make it like Dead by Daylight or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, if you said 2 games, all right. If you want to have one like that, cool. Give me something else besides that.
Why? Those games are fun.
They are, but I want something else. If they want, like I said, they're developing 2 games. So if they want to do one, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Dead by Daylight.
They might not, though, because he's already in Dead by Daylight.
That's what I thought of, too, whenever I saw the 2 games, and I saw a lot of comments also begging not to do what I'm begging for. But, like, I know it's Halloween, so it's like, can you really have, like, a strong narrative experience video game? I think it's possible.
Sure you can.
I think it's very possible, and I think it'd be really fun.
Do a new Halloween story. Do it Until Dawn style.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, dude, with all the different timelines of Halloween and stuff, like, dude, there are so many dumb possibilities that you could do.
Here's a question for you.
Here's a possible answer
slightly
for you.
off topic, because I thought about it for a different series the other day. Would people ask for like a Halloween verse, since we have like all these cinematic universes and whatnot?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, just Halloween,
a merging of Halloweens
of like. We talking specifically Michael Myers Halloween, right?
Correct.
Okay, you're not talking about just general horror franchises.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I'm willing to bet people would ask for that in some capacity, yes, and it in some dumb way would be possible. We have 3 or 4, 3. 3? Yes. No, I think 4. I think there's 4 different timelines. Technically, there's even more timelines, but I think there's 4 main timelines. So
I just asked this because it came to mind earlier this week to me when I was thinking, because I don't even remember what I saw. I was like, would people want a 007 verse of the different Bonds in a movie together?
In a movie, I mean, yeah, I bet they would.
They probably would.
Big fan service. People are a sucker for fan service.
I remember because it's been like 3 years since our last Bond film.
No. Just like with the Halloween thing, people are a sucker for fan service. So probably look, while it'd probably be a dumb idea on how to pull it off, as long as it's like an ungodly amount of awesome carnage candy, I don't think people are going to care. Like, as long as the kills are fantastic, I think people are going to be fine. You know what I mean? That's kind of the main thing.
Here's an idea for you. Remember Aliens Isolation?
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No.
Yeah. But shout out, that's on the weekly wrap up this week. But no, I'd be fine with that.
Is?
Yeah, I got it on the weekly wrap up.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking, Aliens Isolation wasn't that the one that people liked?
Yeah. That
Oh
was
no,
one.
that was the good one.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
very,
that's the
it was
good one.
very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Something
It was very well done.
not
Yeah.
necessarily like that where you're like maneuvering around a ship, but like similar thing where they like you kind of got to be careful and they kind of show up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, my statement stands. No.
Yes. Yes.
You're not gonna play it either for whatever it's worth.
I mean, correct, because I don't care about Halloween, but
Oh,
if it's,
I'll be playing
if
it.
it's atmospheric enough, no.
Come on, Zach.
That's the whole point of it.
No, Alien Isolation is actually on the weekly wrap up because so the director of Alien, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Romulus? It's the new movie that's out. Said that the Alien game, Alien Isolation, played a massive influence on the new movie because they said it's like while playing it, they realized how terrifying Alien could be if they take it back to the tone that the game went for. So shout out to that. The game had a big influence on the current movie, and to my understanding, from all like the horror movie reviewers that I follow, and just like movie reviewers in general I follow, apparently the movie is fucking awesome. It's absolutely amazing, and everyone's like, it's a great time to be an Alien fan. So I guess that reigns true. As they were just like, you know what, Isolation's good. Let's do that and turn it into a movie.
But to say the way they portrayed the alien was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal that.
basically. Next thing I've got, what's so funny? So I have not followed this project, didn't even know it was a project until like earlier this week when I'm driving to work, I turned on Newswave, right? Turn it on in the movie, nice little 20-minute. Let's check the game news for the day. Spawnwave talked about this mod. It's a Modern Warfare 2 fan remaster mod, H2M for the PC. Bring up the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer up to great graphics, all that BS, whatever. He talked about it like Monday or Tuesday. Oh, man, it's about to launch. Like, if you've been tracking this for a while, it's about to come out. It's going to be great, whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's neat. Literally, like 2 days later, the next news wave, well, it got canceled. Activision sent a cease and desist.
Damn.
It's like, God, that was quick.
No. Okay, here's the really interesting thing about this. I don't know if you had seen this.
Probably not.
So to have accessed the mod, you needed Call of Duty the Modern Warfare remaster.
Yeah.
That came out. That game was in the top three best selling games on Steam this past week.
That makes sense then.
Because people were waiting for it.
Yeah.
And if you looked at the reviews for it the past week, all of it was just praising the mod coming. Nobody was.
I didn't see that.
Nobody was putting anything on it. It was all game back on Friday. Boys, can't wait to see you on Friday. These were the reviews.
Damn.
That happened so quick.
Everybody was so excited for it.
Yeah.
And
Activision came down with that axe.
Yep. Yeah. No, they came down with that cease and desist, and I saw the tweet up from the team that we are stopping all production immediately and permanently. It's just like, damn. It's like,
Do you think that was even on Activision's radar?
I don't think so until probably got bought a lot. That's my guess.
I don't think it was on their radar. The problem is they started heavily promoting the mod this past week. Where like a lot of big YouTubers, big streamers were given like early access to where like they could play against bots, and they were making videos showing off the mod and like how it felt to play and everything. It was Modern Warfare 2, baby.
Yeah. Man, that's unfortunate. I think it went quick.
But yeah, unfortunate that something like that gets canceled, especially with all the work they got put into it.
Yeah.
But also hopefully it could be a wake up call to Activision to be like, yo, this is what people are fucking
Wanting.
fiending for.
Yeah.
It's like you have all this new Call of Duty and everything you're making, but this is what people want right now.
I mean,
Well-
it's the stuff's doing okay, but
Well-
if you really want to hit up your community,
Well, I mean, aren't they obviously just a straight up Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remake would be incredible,
Yeah.
right? But like, I mean, they're kind of giving us that to a small extent. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure every Black Ops 6 map is all Modern Warfare 2 maps, aren't they? I thought that was the big selling point for it.
I don't
Well,
know.
what you got to remember is it doesn't matter because it's new Call of Duty.
It's COD 6.
It's
New Call of Duty, new movement, new settings,
right,
new
you're right,
guns,
you're right.
new everything. People are fiending for the glory days.
That's fair. All those sets of guns and perks and everything.
What are the odds that after the cease and desist, the Activision team actually takes the mod and just repurposes it?
Oh, dude, that'd be shitty. That'd be shit. I don't know how long they worked on that mod, but man, all that work down the drain just for Activision to come in and just take the praise and take it and repurpose it, whatever. Oh, that'd be shitty. But hopefully it is a wake up call though, because it pisses me off so much that you release like remasters of like COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, but they're like just the campaigns. Like, I mean, I get it; those campaigns are actually kind of fun, kinda. They're not incredible. They're just they're a nice way to kill some time.
Modern
But
Warfare 2s we'll talk about for years.
Yeah, it will. But it's like, hey, we want the multiplayer.
Yeah, it's like you call it a remake, but it's the multiplayer, or I mean, it's the
Story.
the campaign. I would say probably 60+ % of people on Modern Warfare 2 did not touch the campaign.
Probably not.
For Modern Warfare 2, I'd probably say, about 60. As games have continued to come out, that probably went up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
There's a reason why I think it was later Call of Duty games. They didn't even make a campaign.
Yeah.
They're just like, nobody wants to play this.
I mean,
Yeah, it was just
and then they
multiplayer
got-
and then zombies.
Then they
Yeah.
got criticized for it, so we're like, okay, I guess we got to make a campaign, but we're gonna make you a campaign, but go play the multiplayer.
Then
Yeah.
they were just crappy campaigns.
Yeah, and like really short, where it's like it was even made Christopher Judge made the joke where he's like, my speech last year was longer than Call of Duty campaign, which that got people pissed off at him. So he's never working with Activision again, if he ever has. So shout out to that. Anyway, let's keep moving. Next thing, Epic Games has launched its own app store on iOS in the EU, bringing Fortnite back to the iPhone in like the first time in like 4 years. Keep that in mind. It has been a long time since Fortnite's been on the iPhone, as well as Fall Guys and other games. It's been taken off due to the whole lawsuit that was taking place between Epic and Apple. So finally getting Fortnite back on iPhones. Shout out to that. Let's see. Astrobot appears to also have some third-party cameos with stuff like Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and Metal Gear are some leaks that I saw for it. The whole game is just like a big collage of PlayStation characters, but some third-party stuff's going to be in there too. And I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it for the weekly wrap-up. All I had left was Gamestetic Game of the Week, which is that Zach?
It's me.
It's you. Gamestetic Game of the Week. What do we got?
Alex, before we do this, I need to ask.
Okay.
We need to some thing on the Discord to set up of games we've mentioned.
You're right. I started an Excel file. I have not updated it in probably about 6 weeks.
Okay.
So the Discord is probably a good way to go. Yeah, okay. I agree. I should probably start putting a blank message in there.
Because I'm getting to a point where, I have tons of games, but I have one in the background. I was like, I may have talked about it, but I don't know if I've talked about it.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you got?
Wild Arms.
Have not.
Okay, cool.
Had to rack my brain for a sec.
Very specifically for me, Wild Arms 4, but the Wild Arms series in general is a fantastic RPG series spanning from PS1 up to PS2. It is initially, it's more or less, it's an RPG. It's a Western RPG. So don't feel like fantasy. Pick up Wild Arms. It's just straight up a Western made by Japanese devs with their whole usually RPG tropes and things like that, but instead of swords and magic, everyone's throwing around bullets and magic, specifically with guns. First couple games are turn-based tactics classic, which turns into a grid-based movement tactics game, which I much prefer the grid-based fights in 3, 4, and 5 as my personal choice. Overall, most of the stories I find fairly good. They can be pretty generic for an RPG, but overall experience, fantastic. Worlds always look great. Enjoy the Western aesthetic over fantasy for a change in an RPG. Combat's always really fun. Bosses are entertaining. Overall characters are always enjoyable across the games. There are 5 main games in the series. Your best bet if you want to try the series is finding 3 or 4. There is a couple offshoots, which I would not suggest hunting down unless you enjoy the series. Overall, one of my top RPG series, Wild Arms, Western fantasy.
I think I played one of them.
Probably did.
I just don't remember which one.
Probably 3.
What is 3 on?
PS2.
Then yes, I think it'd be 3. I think I remember trying Wild Arms on the PS2, and I remember trying another one. Oh God, I can see the cover art in my damn head. Is Dark Cloud a game?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Dark Cloud 2.
Yep.
I think I tried. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But
Dark Cloud had 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Currently both sitting in my collection.
Shout out. Yeah, and shout out to Wild Arms, the entire franchise. Shout out to that. Boys, you got anything else? Ready to hit the music? Ready to get out of here? What are we feeling?
I don't think I got anything else.
All right. Let's go.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. Let us know how you feel about Black Myth Wukong, because I hope you're ready next week. I'm probably going to skip next week, I'm going to be honest.
All right, everything he said and more. And if you like what you saw with us here, you can join us next week when we do our live stream about 6 p.m. Central Time on Saturday for the all Black Myth Wukong all show talk.
That's going to be one of those episodes where the thumbnail is just Black Myth Wukong, which I think I did the same thing for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think I put any, I usually do 3 on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I think Tears of the Kingdom was the only one on the thumbnail, I think. And Black Myth Wukong might fall into that same category. We'll see. We'll see if Zach's going to be here too. But you can also check us out over at our Discord. You can join that as well as our Patreon, the link down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, check out some Rogue Energy and Agent Inc., which we did not shout out in the show. My bad, is what it is. Referral link down below for that one. And we will be back next week to talk about the game that we've been very excited for since August 2020, Black Myth Wukong. It's going to be great. Can't wait.